What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from AConnectionTV.com and AConnectionTV here on YouTube. The two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adapt similar connections, spot out differences. And what I want y'all to do is subscribe to AConnectionTV.com. It is like a miniature Netflix, but ran by black people, me and a couple of others. And we're trying to do our thing from the ground up, build our thing from the ground up. And we definitely need the support of subscribers to get bigger and bigger and bigger and do better and better and better things. So definitely appreciate it if you would go check it out and leave your honest feedback. Definitely appreciate it. But without further ado, I want to talk about the season finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13,000, episode 1,012. But no, episode 22, A Star Is Born. I used to do a ton of reviews, but then I stopped and then I did some more and then I was like, anyways, I'm reviewed. I had a couple of episodes up, just a couple, because I watched the whole season. This was actually a season that I actually watched. I stopped watching Real Housewives, then got back into it, then stopped it. But I watched the season, and I have to say it was... Anyways, let's talk about A Star Is Born. Noelle and Cynthia talks, and she's in LA. Noelle is in LA with Mike, and, you know, I remember hearing in the blogs how everyone had an opinion about how, you know, Noelle is living with Mike in LA, but Cynthia's not living with Mike in LA. It's none of y'all business. She can live wherever she wants to live. And who are we to say that just because they're married, they're supposed to be in the same state? Like, there are so many arrangements that people have in their relationships that where it works for them. Where we could be on the single side of things, like, I wouldn't do that. And you wouldn't do that because that's why you're single now. You know what I'm saying? So people having an opinion about how she handles her pre-marriage is ridiculous. If it works for them, it works for them. You know, and I just hope that Cynthia and Mike work out for the long haul, you know, because Cynthia was thirsty Bailey, and it would just be great for her to be thirsty Bailey over someone that can quench her thirst. So, you know, Noelle is doing her acting thing, and she's taking classes, getting auditions, and getting gigs. I think that's really good. And Noelle is beautiful. I've always said that she was beautiful. And I love the dynamic or the relationship as it is between Cynthia and Noelle. You know, mother-daughter, it's awesome. So yeah, congrats to Cynthia 2020. Make it happen. And I wish y'all nothing but the best. Mama Joyce, Mama Joyce, Mama Joyce. Now, in my last review, I was saying, you know, the conversation that Todd had with Kandi regarding, you know, counseling and all of that. You know, Todd was expressing himself and how he felt and what he felt like he had to go through being in love with Kandi and getting engaged and being married to Kandi and all the family drama he had to go through and what he had to felt like he had to prove himself to the world because Kandi had all this money already and he was coming in not having the same amount of money as her and just the pressures and all of that. And I really felt his pain because I can understand that. You know, being not so famous, dealing with someone that is so famous, and then just the dynamic of it, and that narrative that was spun about you being an opportunist and, you know, not well off on your own and only coming in like that. Who wants that? Who wants that? And in my mind, I thought that crap, all that bull crap, happened like 30 years ago. I feel like I've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta for 70 years, and what Mama Joyce and Kandi's family put Todd through happened 30 years ago. Fast forward, Todd done got them this restaurant that's been very, very successful, opened up another chain, and they're trying to do a breakfast spin on things, okay? Which I feel that, you know, based on how everything's been played out in public, would never have happened if it wasn't for Todd. And so, you know, Mama Joyce and the aunties and the sisters or whoever are on the painting when you go into the restaurant. I went into, you know, the restaurant. Didn't really enjoy my first go round, but I ended up going a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth time. And every other time I've gone, I've had a more enjoyable time than the first one. You know, but I'm not here to talk about the restaurant. I'm cool with, you know, OLG. I like the Camp Creek destination better than the original destination. But anyways, Mama Joyce has this cockamamie story about, you know, a lunchbox. And, you know, back in her day, when TV screens were black and white, how, you know, someone in her school took her money away. It took it right out of her hand. And ever since then, 80,000 years ago, she could not trust. Throwing all types of shade towards Todd's direction. And now Mama Joyce is giving Kandi, advice on how she should do, go to a trust and, all this, take your time and you need to trust and all this stuff. And I'm like, this man literally, in my mind, poured his heart out. Not so much, but like confessed on national TV to everyone watching some of the problems that he has had to endure dealing with Kandi and being with Kandi and the mess that comes with her mom, dealing with Kandi. I have allowed for the family to acquire a fruitful change, and I'm still like, this is what still comes my way. I don't understand that. I really do not understand that. And why is it Mama Joyce's mission to put Todd through that? And then on the flip side, Kandi's response and how she's handling it is piss poor. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I just don't get it. This man has proved himself. And, we haven't heard anything, tumultuous like, what Porsha is going through with Dennis. Or what Cynthia is going through with Mark. Or any of the women. What any of the women have gone through with their men. We have yet to hear that with Todd. Yet to hear that to the extremes with Todd. But yet Todd is still painted as an opportunist who has not acquired or amassed somebody for the family yet. I don't get it. I don't get it. Kandi says they're going to counseling. She says put everything in a trust. It's crazy that she still has those feelings toward Todd. After all this time, I feel bad for him. Nene on the phone with Wendy Williams. I felt like Nene called Wendy. I don't recall Nene's phone ringing. But regardless, Wendy did not call Nene to tell Nene about Kenya. That's not what Wendy did. Who thought that? Who believed that? Who believed that? The fakery of reality TV. Who believed that Wendy called Nene? As how Wendy responded to the situation that happened with Nene trying to put her on live, y'all really think Wendy called her? What I saw on TV, Nene called Wendy. Maybe I saw the wrong thing. I don't know. But it really looked like she was just on the phone and like, hello, Wendy. Anyways, Wendy clout chasing that. Nene clout chasing that friendship or the lack thereof for a storyline. That's how I vibes with that all day long. Wendy is cool. I love Honey. I love her song and all that. But all these women have their moments. All of these women have had their moments. Ava had a moment. Nene has had plenty. Kandi had a moment. Porsha had all these women. Kandi, all of these women have had moments. Wendy says, don't argue with her and be cool. She says, Kenya's marriage license can't be found. Nene's talking about the marriage license. I really could care less. We already see what the marriage is. Shambles. So I don't really care if it's fake or put on or whatever. It's shambles. In front of millions, it's shambles. Embarrassment. Tawdry. Kandi, Todd, and Mama Joyce not coming because Todd did not speak to her. What are we talking about? What are we talking about now? What's the concern? What's the concern? I don't understand. Y'all are sitting in a restaurant that Todd helped bring to the forefront. What's the problem? I'm a boss in my house. I don't have to speak to anybody if I don't want to speak to them. If I'm juggling all these businesses and going through everything that I'm going through, who do I need to talk to? I don't need to talk to nobody. And I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't. What's the problem? I'll sit at my table. What's the problem? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I just don't. And again, I don't understand why Kandi is bringing all of this to her husband and why Kandi is not checking her mama. I don't understand it. And even going all the way back to everything that happened with that man, but with Todd losing his moms. You think about everything Todd went through, lost his moms. I don't see how Mama Joyce can form her lips to go in Todd's direction. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. PJ cried when Nene comes in was funny. Nene says Wendy called her. I don't believe that. Nene talks about the Kenya drama. Porsha says that she is used to being in drama and wanting to get over it. Porsha mentions when Kenya got a call from Shamia. Shamia says Kenya didn't call her when her water broke and that was a whole ruse. And that Shamia handled it diplomatically to not ruin Porsha's event. I thought that was dope. I thought that was really, really becoming it. And Porsha handled that situation quite well. And I'm loving how Porsha is engaged with Nene in this conversation. Porsha looks grown and mature in this situation. All the ladies get ready for the baby shower. Kayla wants to come back to Atlanta. She's 23. Candy says when she was 19 when she moved out. I was 17 when I moved out. Got my own place, worked 3 jobs. Kayla needs some growing up. She got some growing up to do. 23 is she's an adult. She got some growing up to do. But I like how Candy told her she didn't have to go if she didn't want to go. That, Candy had her back. I thought that was cool. Candy and Todd talk about Mama Joyce. Todd says she has said some crazy shit about him and he doesn't want to argue. He just wants to have a good time. Todd gave Candy an option. He said, we can either have a good time or we can argue. What do you want to do? Because I'm not about to apologize because you want me to apologize. That's what's not going to happen. And I feel slight right now. So we having this conversation is we're not having this at the most opportune. We're having this at the most inopportune time. So what do you want to do right now? I'm Team Todd in this situation. I really am. Cynthia says, Candy, where's Mama Joyce all out? Where is Mama Joyce? Where is she? Like leading into the story, I thought that was so fake. I couldn't understand that. The ladies call out Kenya for saying Nene doesn't have any friends, and I thought that was like, wow, very interesting. I didn't understand the baby shower in the backyard, and in my mind, I'm like, they must have had I guess the whole neighborhood was invited because I don't understand how they get away with this block party at this time of night. All this stuff in my way. I'm trying to get to my house. I didn't understand that, but I'm pretty sure all of them were in it. They know Candy, they know Todd. Marlo calls out Kenya about the blog, and Kenya says, yes, it's real, and what y'all gonna do about it? It said, yes, I said this and that. Kenya knew what she was doing when she walked behind Nene, though. She knew what she was doing when she had that megaphone. She knew what she was doing in the hotel as well. Kenya trying to get somebody to attack her again so they can get off the show. That's what I'm feeling. Because ain't no way in the world Kenya is going to say that she did not try to provoke Nene to react violently by getting behind. I don't understand. Who does that, Kenya? Who in their right mind, if you're having an intense, potentially volatile argument with someone, that you're going to get behind them? I don't understand that. Nene good. Nene good, because I don't. It's very interesting how these people get through these types of situations, because it wouldn't have been me. It just wouldn't have been me. Kenya knew what the hell she was doing, and she wanted Nene to pop off. Todd apologized to Mama Joyce. I don't understand why. And Kenya still can't see the grandparents. Oh, okay. So we get to the end with all the little snippets. Whoever wrote the quotes for everybody was shady as hell. But Brooklyn still not being able to see the grandparents is hilarious at best. And Kenya putting up with that. I'm not going to say Kenya deserves everything that's happening to her right now, but you reap what you sow, and you put up with what you want to put up with. Kenya did not have to put up with nothing she was going through if she didn't want to put up with it. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait to see this virtual reunion thing that's going to happen. I'm really wondering how Andy's going to control everything, because even online, like, there's a lapse in time. Like, everything's not in sync. And so I'm really curious on how this is going to work, who's going to interrupt who, and what's going to happen. But y'all leave y'all comments and let me know how y'all feel about that. I have a question. Do y'all feel that Mama Joyce is in the right with how she interacts with Todd and puts Todd on Front Street in front of millions and millions of people? After Todd done put up with that shit for as long as he has and has brought back receipts, Mama Joyce is still treating him like yesterday's trash. I don't understand it. Leave your comments below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you.
I know you're not about to think about not subscribing to aconnectiontv.com. Copyrighted.